we can press the pink invite button, we can press the green message button, we can generate it from copy link from the chat, and then there's old ones floating around. So Todd, will you go through exhaustively and just make sure everything is a good user experience end to end with Jerry?
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start mass producing and sharing these links here. So I just want to make sure that's very reliable. And it sounds like, so like that investor chat link, that's another good one as a test. So Jerry, you're saying, I mean, that was before we had dynamic links, right? So that, but now if a user taps on it, it'll
just throw in all the magic. Like, so I understand we have to test end to end. It is the most minimal of differences. I'm not dismissing that we need to test. I just want to kind of lay that out first. But the difference between how the links used to work and how they currently work is, okay, let's just generically state the action, open the Sircles app and go to the chat group. If you went on the old URL, it would have to wait until the web page loaded before it said, hey, open this chat in Sircles. The new way that the dynamic link works is it goes to the same exact URL. It just doesn't ask for permission beforehand. That's the only difference. It ends up on the same page in the app. And
so some people won't have the app. A lot of people won't have the app.
And if they don't have the app, then they'll just see the web page that will ask for their phone number.
And I want to see that. And I want to see that on a lot of different phones. And I guarantee we'll find room for improvement in areas.
Something that I can do the second that will come up in question is right now, if you have an old version of the app, it's going to give the pop-up, or you're going to get the message, Safari had an issue opening this in whatever. If you don't, I can remove that. But what you will miss out on is if somebody already has the app, they won't be asked to open it in Sircles if they do not have the newest version with the universal links enabled. But with that said, if they go through and they enter their phone number on the page like it instructs, we have fallback logic in the back end that identifies that this is an existing user in Sircles and adds them to the group, and then redirects them to the App Store where they can update the app and then get back in. And when they get back in the app, even if they don't even update, if they already have the app installed, they will be in that group.
Okay, that's already a lot for me to track.
So I'm just this is a lot of things that we have gone through and scenarios that I went over, especially when we were deciding to activate these links for investors.
Right, and other places there are other links out there. So so Todd, if you caught that, there's just a lot of possibilities that, and I want the most optimal experience. Just use your best judgment to get the best experience for the majority of your users.
So should we what version should we be testing with in these links? The what's in the App Store or these the new?
Well, you're going to start with some phones that don't have the app installed.
Right. Okay.
Click the link.
Okay.
Yeah. You click on one, you click a new one on different phones.
Gotcha.
And screen record all of it.
Okay.
And then you can let Jerry know what you're doing. He can walk you through and what you're seeing. But make sure you're screen recording everything and sharing what's happening with Jerry.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm also pushing up that subscription update. Now that we talked about earlier, we can test that out in a few minutes.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. All right. So let's continue here. Amit, can you give us your update?
Yes, John. So today, like we discussed yesterday, I work on adding Circles body chat for every user. Like if the user has a group also, and we check its Circle body message is not present there, so we have added there. So I have created pull request for it. Jerry, did you get a chance to look into that?
I did what?
For the Circles body chat,
Oh,
should be appear?
there's a pull request.
Yes, yes.
I have not looked at it. Looks like it went up an hour ago. I was on other things for the past hour, but I can look at that now.
Okay. So in that same pull request, I have added the Redis problem what we discussed yesterday. So I work on that part also, and we have added when we are missing post profile image URL for movie and so. So what we did, we checked if it is not present there, we are calling again TMDB API. But in the same day, we will call only one time. That thing I have added there.
Okay, very
John,
good.
did you get what I said?
Yeah. So go ahead.
And the third problem, like you sent me, that null, right? Something null shared. So this is the first name of person who shared. First name is not present in the database. First name. From column. Yeah. So like I'm checking. So I'm debugging it. I will tell you. This is coming due to first name. So I'm checking which user it is. So I will tell you. Currently, I'm debugging it.
Okay. When the Circles buddy message should be available in the lobby in QA after Jerry approves the PR.
QA, yes.
Okay, I want to take a look at that.
But you need to do onboarding again.
Okay, that's fine. The custom topic will be there as well.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, both will be there.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. So I'm debugging it. I will tell you in 5 to 10 minutes. Currently, I'm working on that.
All right, sounds good. What are we going to do about this Android build situation? Todd, did you determine if there was a? Let me ask Ismail first. Ismail, did you push the build yesterday to Android as well as iOS?
Yeah, it should be up on Android. Is it not?
Okay. I don't know. Todd, do you see it?
I can't verify right now. I left that phone in the office. I don't have one for internal testing.
You
I
don't
only
have
have
a couple. I think. Okay, Chantel, do you see the new build for Android? Be .21.
Let me check 1 sec.
Okay. Danny, would you want to share the thing that happened? You got a notice from Android. We're having a problem again with this getting rejected.
They rejected the last build.
Which is weird because it was .2. Was it .20 they rejected?
Yes. I can share my screen here. Hang on a second.
I don't understand how that could be rejected if it's in the store.
I do have .21.
Okay, will you install that and test? And there's a few things in development channel that Ismail asked to be tested.
Sure.
Pagination of topics, edit messages, stuff like that.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to read that a little bit closer because version 20 is in the Play Store for all to access.
Here since Sunday, and then he got the notice yesterday, which is weird. So
That is weird.
I guess they can't retroactively remove it, but I don't know what that means as far as going forward.
Yeah, hang on.
And we thought we were in the clear. I know Amin changed some settings. Remember, we did a bunch of work on Friday with the foreground tracking.
Yep.
And it got approved. So we're like, okay, great. Amin and everybody, whoever was working on that, you guys did it. And no more issues with Android being rejected. But then yesterday, 3 days later, Danny gets this issue right here, this rejection thing. I mean, take a look at this, and Jerry too. Tell me what you guys think of this notice.
So what's interesting here, this is the standard notice you get when typically when submitting it to review, they catch it in review. So this came in last night, and what's interesting here is when I click view app bundles, it's showing the one that we already sent to production as the one with this issue. It says app bundles with this issue are listed here. Some app bundles in the list may be from an older version of your app.
This isn't the first time this happened. I remember when we published a build and then they flagged it after it got released.
Yeah, that did happen once.
Mm-hmm.
Is
And
that wording just saying the description is not just saying the description?
That's what I kind of hinted to Danny, because whenever I appealed it to Google, again, it was like the very most vaguest thing that only thing I could make out was that he had bolded or highlighted the app description in the Google Play Store.
So I thought we ripped out this foreground service.
I mean, we still need it for the most basic location stuff, for the map, to grab your location for the map, and to grab your location for
No, I think Jay, foreground service is like when your app on the background and
Okay. But yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, like that's gone. But we use the foreground service for the media playback. Like we use that because here they don't I don't think here they mention anything about location. So in general, foreground service. So we still use that for having the audio played in the background. Yeah, it's there declared. And also like they were mentioning previous versions, like the status rejected, like they said, like if you go back to the other screen, there's a status rejected at the top. You see like previous versions available on Google Play. Maybe that's what they're trying to flag us for. I don't know, but I can go and check because like with Android, I can download the APK file, and I can go and inspect if we're still using that foreground service for location. I'm sure I opt out of it, so we should not be. Yeah, it should not be there. So I'm not sure why they flagged this new version for if they are like talking about the foreground service for location. That's out of the source code. It's not there anymore. So
what do we do?
Are we missing something about like listening to podcasts now?
Well, I can record a new video if that would be helpful of how we listen to podcasts live and drop the app in the background and show that the media player is still active. Like we have some updated features around that we didn't have when we submitted the original video. But I don't know that it's going to be around media. I'd be surprised, but it's possible.
can we not like contact them, tell them exactly which foreground service here you're mentioning? Is it location or the media?
Yeah, they're not specific on what location, what type service, like either location.
Yeah, because like I think foreground service there's like, not only like location and media. I think there's other stuff. So like they need to be precise.
What's crazy is they used to be like at one point.
Leave it on how to fix. Go ahead, but leave it here. I want to read what we're saying.
At one point, it did actually show foreground service location and foreground service media, and it told us like both of these are out of compliance. And then we fixed the media one. My video must have been sufficient because that one went away, but the location one stayed up. Now over time, they're not even telling us. Like they're slightly changing the message we see here. And I have something in our store listing. Like we don't use the same store listing at all, John, that on Google that we do on iOS. Very different. And I think if we tried to use iOS on Google, it wouldn't work because we have to be so specific, and our App Store one is pretty whimsical and more creative.
Yeah. I mean, they say that here, but they say 4 different things that are 4 very different things about how to do it. It's like, well, which one is it?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they're doing that. Is it all of them?
I know. I didn't.
I know.
Like the fourth one, ensure valid testing credentials. Do we not have valid testing credentials?
That seems ridiculous. Otherwise, how are they testing it?
Right. So why is it even there? It's just a boilerplate document, I guess. Like, so it could be, we have to kind of decide which one it is or guess. We don't know where to target. Submit an updated declaration.
That we've done many times.
Right.
Many times.
Right.
And then the App Store, I mean, I put something in there that was so specific, like about how the app uses real-time location for this, and that. Like stuff we wouldn't even really want to put in our App Store description just to try to appease them on this.
Okay. What do you think, Amin? Amin, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I will need to inspect the APK to see if that foreground service location, if it's still there for some reason. Even on the contrary, it should not be there because I opt out of it. Maybe I should add another way, just to be sure, like, is it in our fault or their fault or something like that. Next, also, like, now, like, they're talking about the build 20.20. That's the one that we did like 3 days ago or something like that. We did for production. And yeah, and that's the one that we thought of it. So that's the first thing that I would do and see.
Okay. All right, take a look. I mean, and the thing to remember here too is like we didn't get rejected from the App Store. It is in the App Store. So what if this was like late for some reason? I don't know. Maybe the next one we submit is fine. The last one worked. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, but take a look. I mean, and then we'll test this version. Ismail pushed yesterday. Jerry, when that PR is approved, I'll go ahead and install on iOS as well. When Ahmet's PR is approved, let me know.
Okay.
And merged and deployed to QA, all tests. And if those QA builds look good, we can push 2 more builds, one to Android, one to iOS, and see maybe it'll go through. So we'll take it from there if it doesn't, I guess. Okay, so yeah, just let me know when I can test that. And Chantel, let us know if you see any issues on your
Will
end.
do.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's continue. I mean, since you left off, why don't you continue? What did you end up doing yesterday?
Yeah, mainly, yeah, I was helping whereas with the podcast, some of that podcast that is not playing. So as I was looking into it, like why that podcast is not playing, because it was a link that needs to be redirected. As I was working on it, I went to check the link, and it was a 404 link. So there's not much we can do about it in this case, other than like telling the user this episode cannot be played or something like that. Because I checked the episode itself on Listen Note, and it's not working there as well. This is our source, but still, this will send me another URL that redirects, and it's not playing. So I looked up that too, and this is not the only episode or podcast that gives back a URL that will redirect. It's only there's other ones that works, but this one it does not work. And I'm suspecting that MP3 because that episode is in MP3. So the MP3, like the codec they used, how they compressed the MP3, it's a codec that it's not supported in the library that we're using, and it's not recognized as an MP3 or something like that, as like an audio that the player recognized. That's why it's not working. If that and that that's what I'm suspecting, because I'm right now I'm just giving it a straight MP3 file from that podcast, because like I went and I got the redirected link and I just put it there, hard coded it, and it's not working. And it should be, because if I do another MP3, it just work. It's only this one. So maybe though, like this author of this podcast, like they compress their MP3 audio with some codec that it's not supported in the player that we're doing.
So that means our player is limited, potentially.
It seems so, because the codec that it's not the end. When I went, it should not be, because we're using a library that's under the hood uses what iOS, like the player by iOS framework. Like that's what they're telling the docs what to use if you want to have a player in your app.
So maybe you're not on the right track. Maybe.
Yeah, but so I don't find any other explanation why just giving it an MP3, a straight MP3 will not work.
Yeah, you said you hard coded it and tried to play it directly into the player.
Yeah, it's not working. So
That's weird. Do we need
yeah,
to update our player?
I think let me see. I didn't check that.
Okay.
We're on the latest version of that library. Let's see.
Maybe not. And it's kind of an edge case, right? Like most play fine. Is it just this particular one? And maybe a few you found?
Yeah, it's only this podcast that we just found.
Huh.
There we go.
Maybe we can do a ticket with whoever's maintaining the library.
Yeah, we can. I cannot find an issue about this one. Why it's
Yeah,
not working.
because it's an edge case. I mean, it's not like a lot of podcasts are getting listened to in Circles right now, so it's not urgent. If they're responsive and you do a ticket and report it, maybe they fix it for us, down the road.
All right, yeah, I can do that, and we are using the latest.
We are. Interesting. Okay, then yeah, see what they say about it.
Okay.
But it's just that one. Like how many others did you find where that was a problem?
I was only testing with this podcast. All the episodes of this podcast are not working.
Of that one. Okay, that's weird. But you didn't find that problem with any other podcasts?
I was not testing other podcasts. I was only like testing this one.
Okay. Well, I'll keep my eye out and see if there's any other ones that are a problem. But try starting with the people who maintain the library,
Mm-hmm.
and let me know what they come up with. And then, so like, what else?
Yeah, and regarding the block feature, this is that we talked about it during the Chantel. For the front end, there will not be a lot of changes to do. Mainly, it's a lot of back end work. On the front end, I just need to feed Jerry what he needs to know, so he like the data that it's missing, so he knows like what to where to block and what to block. So that's the only changes. And he told me like that we need to first one, it's like the user SLT, like for if you're gonna view another user's SLT. So I did that. I just added the requesting user key, so he will know that user needs to be hidden from the SLT. And that would be much for that would be it for it.
Okay. Was there something else too? Let's see.
Yeah, other than changes that we did at the beginning of the stand-up.
Oh yeah, the modal iOS 18.
Oh yeah,
modal.
the text changes there. We did that, and also like
Yeah. Did you got my last message? Did you center it?
yeah, it did center it. It's
Oh wait, I think I see this. You sent me a screenshot, right?
yeah, sent you a screenshot, and also like
Whatever.
changes to the share link input that was like delayed to be shown. That too, like we
Oh yeah.
fixed. Yeah,
So that's fast now, right?
yeah, as is in the video.
That's right. Yeah, that looked all good. That's fine. Okay, that works. I want to go through the process. Todd has some test phones, and because did you get the modal? Remember, there's another modal that we were going to get in there in the edge case where a user in iOS 18 allows the permission for contacts, but then doesn't add any contacts on the select screen. Remember we have a modal after that that's like, this only works if you share some contacts.
Like in onboarding.
Yeah, I didn't see that the other day. But then again, I don't think I went the exact scenario of that edge case. But I want to test that a little bit as well. So I kind of had another idea too. I'll go over it with you when the time's right. But it looks like you already changed the text size, right? And everything's all centered in here now.
Yep.
Is it centered? Yeah, I get it's pretty close.
You like when you say centered, is it like the text or the whole like that
Just
box?
the text, because like the parentheses on share all is like right on the edge. I mean, it's close enough. It's probably a little bit to the right of center.
I mean, I'm just applying the there's a prompt, so you want to center text. I'm just applying that. I'm not playing with anything there.
Really? Okay. So
Yeah.
it's programmatically
Yeah.
centered. Okay. That's fine. Okay, cool. That should work a little better. Another thing is Jerry found a bug and he dropped it in development. This may be something you could look at, or maybe for Ismail. Let me find it. It's pagination of the chat. Do you remember that, Jerry? You found a bug where the chat lobby pagination.
Yes.
was
Yeah. So you are in your lobby. You're starting your lobby. You have to have more chats than what a page would hold. So you start in your lobby. You go all the way to the bottom of your lobby. You background the app, and then you can just go back in the app, and then you're only able to see your first page, and you can't load any more pages. I attached a video in development.
Yeah, I think this bug can be related to, I'm not sure if it's mainly in here, but how we do a refetch whenever you focus this screen. There's a refetch that we do.
Yeah.
I think that refetch needs to take into the consideration the offset and
Correct. I thought it did. Because okay, so I scrolled one time and I go back. Yeah, I guess it's refetching regardless if you reach the end or not. It doesn't freeze for me. It just discards the offset. But it doesn't necessarily freeze. But I guess that could lead to a freeze in some cases.
Wait, my app never froze. I was just stuck with the first page of my lobby.
Oh, no, I'm not stuck with the first page either. I can paginate. I can paginate, but yeah, it just I lost my offset or like where I was scrolled.
Mhm.
That one I am going to probably that lodge I'm going to revisit. I remember I built it a while back. It was a little complex. I want to see if I can have a simpler solution, and that does the same thing. It's tricky because we paginate, and then you want to also update the lobby when you get new messages, but you also are paginated and you're scrolled. And if, as you know, when you paginate, if you refetch, you basically lose everything. Like the offset goes back to 0, or that, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's, yeah, it was a little tricky. I remember that logic was very I don't know how to put it. Like it works for the most part, but it was very, let's say, fragile or complex. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I'll revisit it and maybe even use some of these new AI tools that came out. Maybe they can give me an idea of a better way to handle it. So I do want to spend some time on that.
Okay. And I mean, is there anything you could suggest in the meantime that may assist?
Yeah, it's that refetch logic. So, and we need it because I know we need it to keep the lobby updated whenever you send something and you receive something and everything. So, it just that logic needs to be revisited to take this case into consideration.
Okay. Okay. And then what do you have for today? I mean,
Let me see. Not much. Yeah, I need tasks.
okay. We have a few directions we can go, but I want to get the most valuable. Okay, let me run something by you. We've had some suggestions from users. They would like to see a list of available chats because we have a several public group chats now, like ones for like sports chats, ones for events, ones for streaming, things like that. And the idea would be to put the list of them above the lobby, right below the header. So like where it says my circles, like underneath that, kind of like we have topics, but instead of topics, they would be the selection of chats. I'm wondering if you gave me a real rough estimate, how long you might think it would take to be able to have people opt in. So the couple things would have to happen. So let's say I'm already in one of those chats, we wouldn't display that chat in the list because then it would be redundant. And if I joined a chat in the list, it should remove from the list. So some basic features like that. But other than that, pretty straightforward. It would basically be just a selection of group chats that we designate. So I imagine the backend would have to handle that. So we designate some public chats and we display them on the top. How long do you think it would take to get something like that going?
I think this will be back end. If like, are we talking about the lobby, right?
Yeah.
We
So,
don't.
yeah, so let's talk about this. So
Actually, while we're doing it, Chantel, maybe you could share your screen and we can get a visual of it.
yeah, I was gonna ask for some visual aid here.
Okay. She'll grab that. And then what were you going to say, Jerry?
Yeah, so what is it going to work more like? Is it just all going to be listed and available, or are we going to have like a separate screen where they can view? There's
All listed up at the top, kind of like topics are listed up at the top. Chantel, are you there? Oh, there she goes. Okay. So here's a sample example. Now this isn't a final draft necessarily, but
this
kind of the
sounds-
idea.
This looks too busy. My first impression is this looks a little too busy.
It does, and I felt that way immediately when I first saw it, but I have to remind myself a couple things. First of all, if you're a new user, you won't have any of those chats in your lobby. Your screen will be mostly white below, and you won't have any duplicates which you see multiple duplicates here. So that actually wouldn't be the case. Remember I was saying, if
Mhm.
you already have the chat, you wouldn't have the option up there. So definitely won't be this bad. Now, will it still be too bad? I'd have to kind of play with some more examples, but I don't think it certainly won't be like this.
If I'm exploring, I almost want a list view. I almost want like a vertical list, not a horizontal list. If I'm exploring,
Yeah, except we already have a vertical list.
well, that's why I'm almost thinking like another screen that's called like Discover, like it's a Discover circle,
Hmm.
something.
Interesting.
Well, why can't? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was just thinking, even with the what looks like topics up top, but being the group chats, like you'd scroll a little bit, but maybe the last one, John, you made a good recommendation that one of them would say "see all," and then it does give you another window with a list of all the different public chats.
Yeah, that'd be one way to handle it.
And maybe the most popular ones or active ones or largest ones, whatever we determined, are the ones you see at the top.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't solve the clutter perspective.
Right.
But again, this won't be as cluttered because you won't have any duplicates.
Right.
And you probably, the new user won't even have any chats. So,
What if we had a section on the Discover feed? Now that I know you guys aren't just talking over me. I was talking on mute. I'm like, why is nobody listening to me? Is if it with Jerry's idea of it being like Discover, one of the things that Facebook does is they have these little areas that break up the feed that it is like Discover new groups.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we could do something like that because if the idea is to discover something, we could put that on the Discover feed to discover ways to chat with people, which, to your point, if it's a new user, there's not going to be a lot of stuff on their Discover feed either.
True.
So that's another area that they could have content.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I think we got a degree of difficulty. What were you gonna say, Jared?
I was going to say Discord has something. Let me just show it real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. If I go in here. Now, they don't have it for mobile, which is weird. But if you're in a chat, they have Discover. And this is people who have Discord servers that they've created public. And for a Discord server to be listed as public, there's a lot of criteria you have to abide by. I think they go to discovery, like they just don't let anybody list it public. Where is it?
That's cool.
Yeah, but it goes on this feed, and I think one of the requirements you got to have like 1,000 people in it. But
I see. So each one of those is a chat.
so I could correct. So if I wanted to go into like these are like topics like games. And so in other words, if I want Gartic Phone, I can click in here and I can join a Discord server for Gartic Phone. I mean, I could just do it right now to show you. So, I mean, they kind of have a landing page here that says these are the categories. They have, oh, is this an app or, there we go, server, sorry. So these are the servers. So if I like Minecraft, see how they have there are 300,000 online, 2 million members. I can click into it, and then I'm immediately in the server. I get a welcome message, and it gives rules, telling me what's allowed, what's not, or just say I'm lurking. And then just like that, I'm in the server.
Interesting. Another thing we could do, by the way, we could do both if we liked both ideas.
Actually, Discord has like a lurk mode for these servers. Like you're currently in preview mode. Join the server to start chatting. So I'm actually lurking. I'm not part of the server right now, but I'm able to see.
Thinking about that too, it kind of would be ideal to view it first and see if it's not your cup of tea. Then you don't have to join it.
Correct.
Then we get a little more difficult again.
The
scope of work is creeping, but I think conceptually it'll be useful. But Just got to make it optimum. So also, what about, we also could do both. We could have it suggestions in the Discover feed, and we could also have it at the top of the chat. And we could also have the top of the chat lobby be collapsible. Maybe you don't see it all. Maybe there's just a little link with a chevron and says something like see more groups, and you tap it and then it gives you a list. So it expands the list, something like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I don't think as like crazy as Discord is. Like, they don't even have a mobile version of this. This is just on this is just for desktop. I don't see this anywhere on mobile.
Interesting.
So
okay.
Yeah, interesting too. But yeah.
So what does it do for us if we try to take it to the next level and have suggestions on the Discover feed?
What do you mean suggestions? Because like none of these, like, these are featured. So these are like hand catered groups that they're trying to feature.
Yeah, I mean, so let's say Sircles has 10 public groups. Maybe we have a card that shows 10 on it, or scrollable, or maybe we have one card for each one, and then it's kind of randomly inserted into the feed depending on how far you scroll.
You're doing this random insert into the feed thing. Ooh.
There's a card when you first start, like a topic. So if there was a card when you have a converse, like for a chat, when you use similar type logic.
You're saying that there's a card where you first start.
Like how there's cards for topics. So couldn't we just make one for conversations?
Wait, you're talking about a card in? I think we're talking about the Discover feed. I thought.
Yeah, because Chantel, weren't you thinking showing?
Yeah, but it would be on the Discover feed. Yeah, so
similar type card.
Yeah, similar type card that would just go on the feed. I mean, I don't know. I'm got some ideas brewing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. The question then is like, do we do more than one suggestion on the card, or do we just do one per card?
For these cards too, we let's talk with the front end guys and let's make sure that they're comfortable with running a separate query to inject items into the card every X number of pages. And that will not interfere with any pagination logic that we have right now.
Sounds risky.
So you're saying, like, as we paginate the lobby, we do another query?
This is going to be the Discover feed.
Discover feed, okay. Yeah, it is. It's just gonna make things complicated because as you like paginate, we do another query, and when we get the results, we need to have that results added to the first query cache, and it's gonna be a little bit complex of work.
I think we should probably wait on that then. But maybe back to the original design. What do you think about that part of it? Just having the options up at the top of the lobby.
Yeah, as for front end, it's gonna be straightforward. We're gonna just have a list at the top there. Where it's gonna be list of those chats. So,
and when the user taps, they join.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we want to use a tab, they join, and they will be automatically taken into that tab.
Yep, because I have the queries and mutations, they're already in there, except for the one to get the list of groups. But I can just include the invite code that's part of the join link, and then Amin can route to that join screen.
Okay, let me see that screen again, Chantel.
One sec.
And maybe it shouldn't be an expanded list right off the bat. Maybe it should be collapsible. Does seem like a lot going on. Hmm. Well, I don't know. I have to think about it a little more. What are your guys' thoughts? Jerry, you said it looked cluttered. Danny and Todd, what do you guys think?
It looks like a lot. It looks like it's a lot of information to be digesting at the top. Like it's cool in the chat because I know everything relates to that one chat. But having I don't like having it the same format as the topic folders, like the topic tabs. That is what I want to figure out how we can discern that for like how we can separate that from topics. And I know you're saying once you'll be in the group, it will no longer show. This is a really good question. I'm open to some discussion.
Yeah. Maybe we'll tackle some lower hanging fruit first. Like, let me see the screen to the left, Chantel. We never finished this one.
Chantel, does Facebook? So you said Facebook has like a discovery feature for groups?
Yeah, it does. Like if you just scroll through your feed, you'll stumble upon a horizontal scroll of groups you might be interested in
Mm-hmm.
and joining. And then it gives you a button to like join right away. And sometimes that requires you to like go fill out your little application to join. But
yeah. So Instagram actually has something kind of similar. Does anyone else here have Instagram?
I do.
So if you open it up and you go to your messages, there is something kind of similar. The notes.
Oh yeah.
So it has some like kind of like what we have with the list that goes that way, but
Mhm.
it's just for DMs. And like
Yes.
I know I'm in a DM but it doesn't have the information like how many people are in this group or whatever. Like it's just that person and their profile image. And the other thing I see is so Instagram has 3 tabs. They have like basically the lobby takes up maybe a little over half of the vertical height of the screen, and everything above it is like just extra stuff. But they have tabs for primary, general, request. I can send a screenshot into development chat for you, John. So they kind of do it. It's just hard. Maybe. I'm almost thinking, what if we don't include the number of people in the chat, or what if we don't include the name of the chat? And then if you click the name of the chat on the bar, you get a card that slides up from the bottom, and then that includes like the number of people in the chat and then the name of it with like a confirmation to join.
Yeah, maybe.
And then that might prevent people from accidentally getting in there. Because I don't think there's a confirmation screen from here. It's just tap and you're in, which maybe we don't necessarily want. If you check what I sent in development chat, this is what Instagram's message lobby looks like.
It's a show?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted for a second here. So,
I do think that, I mean, one, it does look pretty similar. Just that these are
it does
smaller.
look very similar, doesn't it? Is this
Um,
Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say that I do wish we had a search feature so that I could search for the name of something or for content like a certain message or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another story. But it looks just like it, in my opinion.
But note that the cards, like the tabs at the top, they're a lot more spaced out. Maybe not a great
Yeah.
space, but it isn't as dense as we're doing it.
I like how they have these tabs here: primary, general, and requests. It'd be cool to have our direct messages separate from all the groups, because if you're in a lot of circles, it's hard to track your DMs.
The backend actually has that like ready to go. If we ever wanted to do that, like the backend work is already done.
That would be super cool.
Just throwing that out there.
I didn't catch all that. To do, the back end is done on what?
Like to separate out groups and DMs in your lobby.
Yeah, see how Instagram has this primary and general tab here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly what they're sorting right there, but I've had a lot of trouble finding DMs from certain people because I'm in a lot of circles.
Mm-hmm.
DMs get hidden. So if we have some tabs like this at some point to navigate between direct messages and group messages, it'll be super helpful.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
It's already ready on the back end.
One thing that would be super nice is if there was a way to filter unread versus read, or have it where it like shuffles your unread stuff to the top. Because it drives me crazy when I have the little red bubble at the bottom saying I've got an unread message. And I'm just like scrolling for days to try to find whatever one is unread.
Yeah,
because I get so many messages.
Yeah, that opens up like a big rabbit hole of things that I have thought of, like for us to be a really powerful messaging app. And that would be one of them.
Well, good thing is most people don't have that many. Chantel's popular, so she's got a lot of conversations. But most users aren't experiencing that.
But do we want to weaken our powerful, popular people, especially with influencers that we're bringing into the platform?
Weaken them how?
Like not necessarily like weaken them, but degrade their experience, or like maybe they want to see like only their unreads and they're in a lot of chats. People who are very active on the platform. I think there's going to be a benefit to putting it there.
I mean, even an influencer who has a chat with thousands of messages is still only has one conversation in their lobby. So they would have the same amount of conversations as you and me and anybody else. Again, we don't have an issue with it right now just because it's so new. I mean, there's about 100 things we can work on, and some are going to deliver immediate value and some aren't. And I want to zero in on the things that deliver value towards retention and network effect.
I mean, the biggest thing is probably going to be then just making these groups discoverable in some way. I'm bringing a fresh set of eyes.
So that's what the screen on the right is.
I know that. I know. This is my first time looking at it. I've been on the phone. So, I mean, at first glance, I like a lot of it. It is a little. It's a lot. It's too much text. But it piques my curiosity.
Yeah, if we took off the text, it would be, I feel like, a lot better on my eyes for some reason. It's just, it's very dense.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on 3 lines.
I'm almost thinking just an image almost. and then it sparks their curiosity. They click the item, it pulls up a card like a drawer from the bottom with more information about the group. And
Well,
then
here's one thing we can do right away. Instagram has 3.5 at the top, and they have big space between them, so they could allow a longer title on one line. I think we could do something similar. I would, Chantel, remove the duplicates and spread these out so there's only like 3.5 showing, and then let's put all of the names on one line. So what's streaming, one line, and then underneath that the amount of people. And let's see what that looks like just by itself. I think the 3 lines is really the biggest drawback.
Mhm.
And then in the meantime, there are a lot of other things. Like, also send me that screen on the left when you get a chance, Chantel. I want to see if people even understand what that wording means. But things like this here, like this could be put in a day, and perhaps 10x network effect if it worked, if people latched onto it and used it to create groups. Because it's a feature is underutilized, but probably mainly just because it's not apparent. And I want to take small steps, maybe before we take some big steps, to hone in on the users and get the most engagement. There's a million things we can go with too. Let me think about some other options here. Once she's done with that, I'll go through my notes. So currently, Jerry, if I was to share, let's say I was to share a podcast episode. Right now, the link says discover trusted recommendations ad free, and there's a broken looking image, and just like, I don't know, something that probably was put in a couple years ago.
Where are you talking? What screen?
If you go to a podcast,
Okay, so if I go to a podcast, just any.
yeah, and you go to one of the episodes,
Okay,
there'll be a share button in the upper right corner.
I see.
If you tap on that, you get the native tool. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you were to message somebody, it's not actually sharing the podcast, it's sharing a link, and the link takes the user to Sircles.com. So it's really it's almost kind of embarrassing kind of experience. Like, no one's looked at it or touched it. I don't know if anyone's used it. But I am assuming the more users we get, people are going to want to share certain episodes and things like that. What would be ideally we would be sharing the podcast and they could listen to it in some type of Circles web view, like if they didn't have the app.
Well, with this drawer, are we doing anything with it right now to make sure that they're sharing the I think we should have that drawer that pops up before the native drawer. It's like share in Circles, share outside of Circles.
Yeah, that would be step one. And we had a better design for that too. By the way, I think this screen looks better now.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It is not dense. I'm cool with this.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, you like it, Todd?
Yeah, I really do. I'm kind of excited for it.
It makes a big difference with the 2 lines instead of 3, huh?
Yeah, it does.
My only question is, how will people know what this is? If we could just put some text somewhere that was like discover new circles or something.
Yeah, like something like conversations you can join.
Maybe not conversations you can join. I feel like we should have it something more inviting, like discover new, like something exciting. I don't know.
Well,
Conversations, it seems a bit literal.
yeah. I like join because that's what happens when you tap it. So like groups you can join, or I mean,
Discover groups to join. I like the word discover, and we can keep the join in it.
Or explore, because we already have the discover feed.
Okay, yeah, explore groups to join. I like that.
But you're not really exploring. Like as soon as you tap on it, you're going to join it.
Oh, it's not going to have like a landing page?
Not if, depending on how long we want to take to do this.
Oh, okay.
I mean, version 1.
Well, we don't have it now.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have a landing page at the moment
Yeah.
for the existing group chats.
That would take some engineering. A little bit more.
Oh, I figured that could be like a web-based thing.
No, doing it in a web base, that's actually going to be more complex, I feel, than just adding a drawer that comes up from the bottom with a confirm button. But
or a modal even that says join or cancel.
Yeah, a modal, like just with like, oh, this is the maggot army, something with that. That way they don't like accidentally press it for some reason and they're like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't have those things at some point, but as far as getting, somewhere quickly and easily and not taking up too much time, we already have group chats. People do enter them. There are no modals at the moment, and I agree with it. It'd be kind of cool when we do have them. But for the time being, making all those chats public to everybody, I think would be a really good start.
Yeah. Chantel, is the spacing between the last two equal to the other spacings? It seems like the last two are closer.
This and
those two. Are they closer together? Or is it an illusion?
I have it based off of the width of it to keep it to one line, and then I have each one of those spaced by 15.
That could be
the margin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's consider, because now this is dependent on how long the group name is. Well, okay. Well, a group name can only be 20 characters. So can we do something that's like 20 uppercase characters to make sure it doesn't throw anything off too much?
Sure.
Okay, so how would it work if I opted into one and it needs to get removed from the list? Is that something the front end needs to handle that, right? Or is that all still back end?
That's still back end, as long as the front end knows to refetch that list when they come back to the lobby.
Okay, so I mean, how would the front end know to refetch the list if once I select one?
I mean, we're doing the same. Like we refresh the lobby whenever you go back to this screen, so we can do the same here. We can refresh this list at the top as well. If we go back here, is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I opt into one, I want it to get removed from the list.
Yeah. Yeah. As you will be back in here, the list will be updated. Like we're gonna do the same, like how we do with the with the list of chats, the lobby. So it's gonna be the same. Like we have a way to know, like whether the screen is in focus or not. So whenever it's focused, we do a refetch to update it with this.
Okay. Yeah, because you will leave the screen once you tap on it anyway. So then when you come back, it will be updated. Yeah. That's cool. What are we doing here? Why does this look so different?
This is to see the max amount of characters, all caps, so we can see what the spacing would be.
Okay.
For example, like we have Fuego Entertainment. I think that's as big as it. Yeah, that's 20 characters and it's all uppercase. So we're going to have groups like that.
Yeah, I think we should go back to the spacing we had before and then have it just go dot, dot, dot.
After how many characters? Or-
More of the distance. Like it should have like a bounding box.
Okay. Could we use Fuego Entertainment as a real world example? Because I believe that would be on this list, correct?
Yeah. More, yeah, just maybe like based on geography.
Yeah. So Fuego Entertainment, where should that be truncated? How would that appear? Because that is all uppercase. It's a group. So would any of it be cut off?
Yeah, probably.
Just need to know where to set that limit.
I mean, the way how we're doing it is like we're gonna split the whole like width of the device, for example, to 4. And if it's so each one is gonna have like a 25% of the available space. And
Can you do that? I mean, with an offset like this?
you see an offset like exactly as like this, so the user can know it's like a scrollable.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can do that. We can trick
So
it
it can
to
still
make
be, yeah, like a quarter, but
yeah,
across a little further.
yeah, we can do that.
Okay. And then that would make the text either fit or wrap. Well, I guess it wouldn't wrap. We would go dot 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 if it was
Yeah.
too long.
Yeah, because like there is no more available space for that item itself, and it's just gonna go dot dot dot.
Okay. I see.
So it's gonna be 4 always at the top.
Yeah,
Or-
like 3.5 kind
Yeah. Okay.
of. Yeah, let me see that Instagram example again real quick. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same there, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, and a little more than a half. I'm just getting an idea. There's so like it looks like Leonard Albert.
Mhm.
So it's 15 characters. 2, 4, 6. Yeah. I mean, theirs is like a little further to the left.
Yeah, I guess he has a little more space. Let me scroll on it and see if I see anything.
Let me see ours now, Chantel.
Here, I'll put it like that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess we can't really go to the left much. Okay.
It also realized that he has a lot more space because it has my space. Is like like the 2 names on the side of it are both very short,
Yeah.
and he has a
Yeah.
long name, so I think it gives that impression too.
Yeah. Well, I think this would work for the majority. And then if someone went all caps,
No, actually, yeah, this periodically refreshes. So if I refresh my lobby, you'll see here now the 3rd name, Kaylin, her last name, Chantel, if you close it out, her last name is truncated because it is so long.
For who?
You want to close this? I sent a brand new picture.
Oh,
And it has an example of a very long name. See how Kaylin Adams, K.
uh-huh.
And her last name, her married last name is like 5 letters long. I think it's Keller. So it just truncates after that point.
okay. Oh yeah, look at that. They do the dot dot dot. So they have the same issue. Okay, so we can't do, but they don't sacrifice their spacing. Their spacing is fixed. They don't push it to where there's only 3 on the screen, in other words. So I like that too. That would be my instinct, is keep it this spacing, but we go ... when we need to. Okay, so what do you think, Amin, as far as putting this together?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it like this, where the spacing it's gonna be always there, regardless of the name is short or long.
Okay. And it'll remove it if I'm in it. Jerry, what if I'm already in it from like onboarding? So like we how does it refresh it? Like, let's say what streaming is there automatically after onboarding, but then I delete it. Does it show back up top, or what do we do?
It's not I did not implement this query yet. So what do you want it to do?
Well, I didn't. I suppose if you deleted it, we don't need to add it back up there. But then again, maybe you would want to get added back into it. Let's go the simplest route for now, whatever that may be. So like if
Yeah, that's just gonna be it's gonna throw it back.
okay, let's go that route for now. Okay. And what else can we think of? Are there any edge cases you guys can think of that we need to account for here in something like this?
Well, if somebody is banned from that group when we implement the admin, it will just say fail to join group. That would be fine. Well, we can also just hide it from their list if they were banned. Pagination, we want to make sure that we incorporate some form of pagination here.
Yeah, true. So we'll need that. Okay. What else? Anything you think of, Amin?
Can you repeat that? I was
Any edge cases or anything you can think of that we should be aware of?
As for listing those, like
Yeah, just the whole functionality.
right now, no, because I think like the backend will handle the case if a user joined or leave a group, so the backend will always be updated with the latest. So it's just like whenever we're gonna be focusing the screen, we're gonna do a refresh just to making sure like we're showing the latest from the backend.
Okay. Okay. Okay, what about if I tap on it, do we just join them automatically, or do we show them a modal that asks them to join it?
Modal.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's use the native modal, Chantel.
Okay.
And I think it should be real basic and say join the maggot army ? And the button says join, and the other button says cancel.
Okay.
That was basically what we get. Yeah, that one there. What was that guy asking Zane about, Danny, about sharing Instagram links? Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't really specific. He was just saying there should be ways to share.
Was he saying, I think he was saying share a conversation to Instagram? Was that what it was?
No, he was just saying there needs to be some kind of feature for cross sharing.
But I'm not talking about last night. I'm talking about a couple days ago, last week. Zane was talking to somebody who wanted to share I think like an actual text message in his conversation, but like one of our Circles chat messages. He wanted to share it on Instagram, and I was like, "People share messages on Instagram in a story?" He's like, "Yeah," and he showed me like a little tiny clip, like a screen clip of a message someone shared into a story of just a chat of like, "Hi, how was your
Kinda
day?"
what I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, it's kind of like we used to do with when we favorited and then we hit the button and it created a sticker,
Yeah.
and then you could post the story.
Right. How would that apply here?
Well, we would just need the same thing, like some
Long
way
press
of
on
long
the.
pressing or yeah, and sharing out to other apps. In this case, Instagram.
So long press on the message and then share. Right.
Or maybe have a drawer pop up, and then when you click that native drawer to Instagram, it takes a screen grab of whatever you selected.
Yeah.
Puts it in a sticker, but then you need some kind of watermark or some kind of
Sean, so let's add join the MAGA army and then group chat ? So it's a little bit more clear. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. What were you saying then? Danny? What were you saying, Danny?
Sorry, I got distracted too. Let's see, where was I with that? Oh, I said we need some kind of watermark or some kind of. I mean, we'd really have to sit and design it all out with Chantel and figure out what the value to Circles is. Like, obviously, the user sometimes likes to share conversations into other platforms, but for that to be worth our time, we need to figure out how to make it clear to someone viewing that story that they're missing out on an experience they should be a part of. So either through a watermark or through some kind of link back that brings them into the chat. Like maybe when they share it to Instagram,
Yeah, okay.
they have the option to have their custom link go with it.
Okay, so we need a little more time on that. In the meantime, we have those three dots to share a profile or for like a user profile, and then we also have the one on like episodes of podcasts and different movies and things. And the link currently takes you to circles.com. So I just shared one with you, Jerry.
Yeah, so you're talking about that share button? Like
yeah.
We need the front end has to update that messaging, whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah, I think I want to assign that one to you and Chantel and Todd. I feel like the three of you guys will come up with a really good solution for that. Right now it's pretty bad. Like it just takes you to circles.com, which obviously is not ideal. But I know what the ideal, I think we both talked about the ideal would be like a whole web-based version of Circles where you could totally interact and everything and you get link, that's the ideal. That's obviously much harder.
I have a landing page.
That would be good. Yeah. Something in between, like a landing. You have one already?
Yeah.
For a user profile?
Oh, yeah, user profile and for place profiles, entertainment profiles.
Okay, great. So and including like what if I were to share a podcast episode? That's another one.
That's another thing that we'd have to do, but let me try to get this pulled in. Let me show you some previews real quick. So let's see, podcast. Let me grab.
Let's say I have another question. Let's say I tapped into one of these group chats. Could I have and then I select join and then I'm in it. Can we have another modal that's one time only that has like a description of it, maybe rules or whatever to show that? I'm assuming that would probably be front end, but maybe not. It would be.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe Chantel, we could do another mock-up. So after the user hits join, they're now in the chat, but another modal pops up that says, welcome to the Maggot Army chat. Here are the rules, or here's how it works, or all, you know, kind of little description of where you are and what's going on there.
Okay. And so I have something similar, which goes to the like mega admin panel.
Yeah, if you have something there that you can borrow.
So I have a spot where you can create your organization and then you can write like a welcome message of like whatever it is you want them to say.
Okay. How does it display?
So it would come in the way I have it currently is that it would come in as an alert, but I think maybe it would come in as its own message in the lobby now, based off of the way alerts is so hidden. I don't know how many people are actually navigating to that.
Well, I think maybe that one on the right that you have, if that was in a modal, maybe not so long, but like if it was in a modal for from the user perspective.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, this is supposed to look from the user of what it is, but like in a member settings, you can choose to write a message for new users to get, and if other people can create custom topics or events, or if you're going to say no, only I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So maybe something like just a simple version of a modal that greets the user after they hit join.
Okay.
Because the admin part of it, we don't necessarily need right away because we're the ones making these groups at the moment anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So let's do that too. And then I think maybe we have the whole thing pretty well formed for at least the first version after that. And that may help get a lot more people jumping into groups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Were you looking into something, Jerry? I can't remember.
Hey, so I sent you a couple screenshots. I showed you the landing pages that we have right now. I noticed two little points need to be corrected, but yeah, this is what they look like.
That's right. That's great. Yeah. Now I remember we were talking about those links.
Oh, I don't get to see them.
They're not secret.
Is it in development? No,
I can forward to development. They're not secret.
Yeah. Take a look at these, Chantel. These are similar to the other one we did.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And maybe you guys could work on bringing these to life. Jerry, what's going to have the front end have to do? Because what I don't want to do is get it all perfect, and then we're like, oh, dang, we should have had that in the last build.
Well, what the front end needs to do, these are web views. So the front end needs to grab these URLs that I'm forming and then update the SMS that it's sending right now. So instead of sending just circles.com, the front end has to change the link.
Okay.
So there's that.
The front end needs to change that link. Okay.
And we just need to make sure, I think I'll work with Amin already, but he just needs to make sure that the links that I'm providing are registered as universal links too.
Okay. So you'll work with Amin on that?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Well, this is exciting. Okay, great. We're making really good progress on this stuff. If this doesn't have some kind of big hiccup or anything, these are really. So this is what I mean by kind of low hanging fruit that does add a lot of value, because we obviously want people sharing. We want people joining chats. If they can share profiles easily inside circles, outside circles, we're magnifying our network effects. So, okay, then I'll leave that to you, Jerry. So consider also the podcast episodes, because I feel like that would be useful to be able to share.
Yep.
Okay. So I mean, you're open for some new features, right? How does this look to you?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, great. That's pretty exciting. All right, then let's leave that there. I'm gonna do a couple more things. Jerry, did you review Amit's PR so I could check?
It is merged and available in QA.
Okay, I'm gonna download that version now. Give me 1 sec, Amit. I want to test that out. The Circle Buddy chat.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, go ahead, Ismail.
Yeah, so I just kind of want to see where I want to head to next, in terms of, so like I just did a few fixes right now. I was talking with Jerry. The subscriptions, like the little edit it button when you edit, it would now update live for the user and the receiver, or for the sender and receiver. There's a little cache work needed to be on there. So now that that's done, I'm kind of I have multiple ways I could go. I want to just kind of see which one maybe is the best way. So we have the lobby, the chat lobby needs some attention. We have the preview for links in chat that we brought up a while ago, like last week, I mean, and we have the reply to chat.
The reply and thread is like the highest value one right now. But
Okay.
you said that when you said the lobby needs attention, you're talking about the pagination situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That hopefully that's an easy one to knock out.
I won't say that. I might have to like consider a different approach because, like I said, I mean, maybe I can fix the current approach, but like I said, the current approach, ever since I made it a point that I don't love it. I was kind of forced to at that time. That was the best solution I came up with. But now, like I said, with newer AI tools, and maybe I can have maybe there's like they can give me an idea for a better approach to do all this. So it wouldn't if we do go up with a different approach, it might take some time because I remember even this one took me quite a while to get it right.
Well, let's leave that on the back burner because no new users have a million chats anyway. But a lot of new users are asking for the reply and thread.
Okay, so I'll start the UI work on that. Edit chat, do you feel comfortable merging that in? Like, I know there's that, I made some tweaks. They're very, very minimal, but overall, does it work properly? Is it like the only thing that's not working right now is that edit it, you won't see it live. You just have to go to the lobby and Mac to see the edit it, but if I fix that, it'll be in the next build. But other than that, is it safe to merge in? Has it been tested enough? Because I don't want to keep maintaining that branch.
Right. Let me test it. Chantel, have you tested the edit in chat yet?
No.
Okay.
Let me do that now.
So as I mentioned, everything should work except you won't see the edit it unless you go to the lobby and back, which will be fixed in the next build. But other than that, it should all be good.
Okay. Can you edit any message from any period of time, or is there a time limit on it?
No, you can edit any message in any time as long as you're the one who sent it.
As long as you don't want to send it. Okay. I just did one.
Okay, so
Worked. And it says edited with a system message. It's pretty cool. Can we change it to a blue, kind of like how iMessage makes it a blue? I mean, it's fine right now.
What are you talking about? Oh, well, that was the Figma I got.
Oh, was it? Okay. The word
Yeah.
edited, it's fine.
Yeah. You
But
want
yeah,
any style changes, we can, but yeah, that was a Figma design I got, so I just applied it.
okay. That worked for me. Let me try an old message just to see if there's any kind of edge case or something. And a topic, how is the work should work same in topics, right?
Yeah, we should work anywhere. And Chantel and Todd, you guys are tested on Android. Let me know if that's all good.
I see the button.
Yep, will do.
I'm testing the button.
I'm testing one more time. This is great. A lot of people have been asking for this one, so it'll be really big hit. Okay, yeah, it's working. Topics just fine.
So
So yeah.
I did edit this one. It doesn't say it's edited though.
Yeah, that's what I just mentioned. You have to go to the lobby and back. That will be part of the next build.
Oh,
it does it
okay.
live.
Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry.
Okay, it does work. So
Yeah, I mean, as long as the functionality works, that one is just a little cache update, which I already fixed. It's ready to go. It's gonna be part of the next build. So which is probably gonna be today, or maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
okay.
But yeah, it's as long as the functionality works, nothing is breaking, all looks good. That's what I'm looking for. The other like minor stuff we can always improve on.
Awesome.
Boom. It works.
Yes, does. And I see the Circles buddy has a new topic. That's great. I don't love that the tutorial started with that, but actually won't do it if there's another topic. Okay, so yeah, this looks pretty good.
Oh, this has the glad to see you in circles thing.
So
As a
sorry, just before we
demo-
shift topics, are you guys comfortable with merging in edit or?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's working on Android.
Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay, let's
Okay,
do it.
awesome.
Yeah,
Put that in.
nice job.
Thank you.
And then what else do you have? I guess you're going to shift to the reply and thread.
Correct.
Okay.
That one will take a little bit of time. There's going to be a lot of front end, back end work needed.
Right. So you'll need some assistance with Jerry or Amit.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are going to be we're going to be going back and forward till we get it right.
Okay. Yes, Amit. Or yes, I mean.
Yeah, so regarding the Android issue with the build Android, like that foreground service, I did inspect, like we're not using that foreground service location in the build dimensioning. The permission is not there. So I'm not sure why they're flagging it. Maybe it's because now they're flagging it because the media playback foreground service, because that's the only one that's still there. There is this, and also in the Google Play console, we're still taking the box that we are using service location. Maybe this is where they backed that rejection, because we, like somewhere in their dashboard, we're saying we're using this permission, but we're not anymore. Maybe we need to change it.
Yeah, I thought we did change it.
I did change the code, but not like the dashboard. Like in the dashboard, you have to
Yeah.
go.
I thought I remember seeing Danny uncheck it on the dashboard. No?
Just right now, I see is it checked?
Okay.
Are
So
you in the sorry, I just jumped in. I mean, you can see the declarations on your screen.
What do you mean?
You said
like-
you said you see it checked.
Yeah, it is checked. Yeah.
You want to just uncheck it?
Yeah. Okay, I just did it.
and if you do uncheck it, what is that? Does that
You're only unchecking geofencing, right?
Yeah, and when I did uncheck the geofencing, the whole thing disappeared.
Oh. But do we lose background location?
No, we still have it, just like the foreground service location that we don't have, which is keep tracking of the location of a user while the app in the background.
We don't have that.
Yeah, we don't have that code wise, like we don't have it in the app. So
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to use it to ask people to check in.
yeah, and once when the whole feature is ready, then we can opt in for it, and I think they will be able to accept it because there is a feature for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we'll leave it off for now, and it won't hurt anything.
So yeah, there's that. So I just unchecked that geofencing. Now the whole thing gone. I'm gonna do just save, and your change has been saved to send it. Yes. Now they're asking, do you want to change? Send this change to Google for a review. So I'll just do that. Go to overview. Some recent changes were rejected. Let me share my screen.
Okay. Amit, I see the Circles Buddy chat. I see the rewards topic.
Yes.
In the preview
Yep.
window, I see
Mhm.
the description for the rewards, but under the topic, I don't see any message.
Okay.
Yeah, I can show you.
I'm checking.
Okay.
So here you used to, just like a minute ago, you used to list the other service, foreground service location. I just unchecked it, did save, and I go back. Like take me here. I don't know. Like after I did uncheck and save, they want to say you want to send this for like for a review. I said yes, and they send me in here. So I'm not really sure what they mean by sending me in here. Oh yeah, you've made changes. Okay, let me see. Yeah, in here. Yeah, changes not yet sent for review, so I'll just do send for review. Let's do show. Yeah, here's it. Items I see here are unpublished, but take them into account. Declaration updated. So we removed it. So yeah, it just like it seems like we didn't we didn't tell Google that we're not using this anymore. That's why they flagged us again. And as I was lucky, you see, like this is the version 20, the one that they flag, and this is the previous one. You can see the permissions here 45, here 46, because we removed one, which is this service location. You can see it's not in here anymore. That's why it's minus one permission. So that's for sure. Like we're not using this permission anymore. So we just didn't flag the Google that we're not using it anymore.
Okay.
So we're gonna wait for a review now from Google.
This will actually update for them right now, or we have to submit a new build.
No, we don't have to do a new build, I guess.
They'll just
Oh.
review that change.
Oh, cool. Okay, so then we'll see if that works.
Yeah. So that's about build, and about the podcast. That one that it's not working. It's only not working in iOS. I did this on Android. It works fine. So that proves my theory. The codec that uses, so it's like the player that goes under the hood that plays the audio. It's
Mhm.
not supporting that MP3, whatever the
Mhm.
codec of it. But in Android, it just works fine. I was able to play all of the episodes in here. So yes, it is something with the iOS player. So it's something related to the codec, which is I'm gonna do an issue for them. Maybe they have more insights about it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, let me know what they say.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I think now I'll be heading to be finishing working, like start working on the new feature that Chantal did the design for.
Great. Do you need the link to Figma?
Yeah.
Okay. Chantel, will you send me that link? She's on me, but I think she said yes. And okay, so that'll be good. Amit, did you get my message about the message in Circles Buddy? I have another question too, and it might be a Jerry question. But
Yes,
so
Jim.
yeah, okay, so Amit made it so there's a topic available for the Circles Buddy DM, but I'm able to respond to that, Jerry. I thought we disabled that. Like I'm able to like message Circles Buddy directly. Is that to be expected?
Yeah, you can respond to it. It just doesn't do anything. Like it creates a message to respond, but it'll never get read.
Right. Well, I mean, it could if we logged in under that account.
Correct.
Um, hmm. Could we disable it?
depends how you want it to be disabled. Do you want it to be like it? What would happen is right now you could send the message and it would look like it was sent, but if you went back to the lobby, you wouldn't see the message because we never get created in the database. It's not like an explicit message telling the user you cannot message this person.
Yeah, I see. Would it still be in the conversation when I came back?
No,
No. Hmm.
we can do that.
Yeah, that might probably be good because otherwise I could end up pushing the greeting message up off the screen if I sent a bunch of messages.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can always open it back up. Like if he wanted to have two-way conversation, like if we want Circles Buddy to be AI, let's say, and respond.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for now, let's close it to messaging. Yeah, so it'll look like it's sent, but then when you leave and come back, it'll be gone.
Correct. I can make that change.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, and so then Amit, are you able to hide the message in the preview?
So preview, I think I'll talk about JD. So JD, let me say that's what.
Like
So-
topic preview.
Yeah, there's actually an interesting bug, like defect happening right now, and I kind of prefer it to work in reverse. Okay, so right now, the rewards topic is only showing the card, the share card, but not the message. However, the main chat is showing the share card and the message. I'd rather be the other way around. I'd rather the main chat just preview the share card.
Why is that topic message not visible?
That's a good question.
Why is it not visible in that topic?
I don't know. Do you know, Amit?
I'm checking that why it's not visible. So just call this one get on topic message here.
You're cutting out a lot,
Key.
Amit.
Can you hear me?
It's really broken up.
Hello?
It's like you tried to share your screen and everything broke.
Yeah, your screen isn't sharing and your audio is really bad.
One minute. Let me change my network.
So while we're doing that, I actually would like it to be similar to that, but just in reverse, where only the card is previewed.
That might be a little something extra, like to have that exclusively work with Circles Buddy.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, it's already almost working on accident.
Yeah, well, let's get it back to honestly how I expect it to work, and that is, the messages have to show in the thread. Let's get that resolved before we move beyond.
Okay.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So like to get on topic message is returning that UDF that message, but I need to check why it's not returning. Let me do that. I'm doing that one. Stable not to get on topic message. Why it's not returning? Get on topic message. Custom 1527. Key to 660. Get on topic message. Jerry QA is complaining me regarding authorization token. How I can, which token I can pass?
Let me get a master API key for you, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
See token. Okay. Let me do. All right, I'm sending you the header you need to pass submit.
Okay.
Give it a minute or so to apply it to the environment, and then try with that.
Okay.
Okay, great.
There. Six three. Why that PDF is not returning topic message? Get all topic message UDF. Can you hear me?
Yep. You're saying it's not returning in there? Let's see.
Yeah. So topic key is 2660 and group key is 7409.
Okay.
That is not returning message.
Let's
Is
look
there
at
any
that.
constraint there?
And group key. Okay, in QA. Well, there is no. I don't see the message. If you just select from the database, I do not see the message in there.
Just 74.
Are you creating a message?
Yes. Get the message. Let me check. 7409. 409. 7409. Yeah, creating the message also. Let me do that. 7409. Thumbnail. There is only one message. It's showing. Let me. 1 minute. Really, I'm giving you the correct one.
Why is it being created as a dummy lobby message? That might be why it's not being created a bit.
Dummy lobby, no.
That maybe we want that to give us more flexibility, though, Jerry.
No, I shouldn't be making it like that in a Circles buddy group.
So I have not changed the message tab there. Let me check. 1 minute. I will tell you, Jerry. Give me 1 minute. We are passing message type as text there, not dummy. Group key I is not, so I'm passing you the correct group key. 1 minute. I'm grabbing that group.
Yeah, make sure this isn't being created as a dummy lobby message, but we only allow one of those in the group. We just got another rejection email from Google.
Oh my God.
Don't get
Okay. Forward that to a meme.
Hey, Amit, why are we looking at Redis environment for the
So topic key is what we created now for Circles body. It is Dave is different and prod is different.
Oh, no.
4586 is on.
Well, I know the topic key is different, but Redis environment is not a good environment parameter to check. Or no, it might be. Actually, I'm sorry. Or
Yeah, it's
okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay, my bad. Well, let me make sure then that QA has that correct parameter set in the environment. So okay, that is correct in this QA environment.
Jay, can you please call get all group KPI? I'm not able to call it from my side currently. So can you please call for the John and what is the group key?
You need the group key for the DM between John and Circles body?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was ready to wipe out that group. I wiped out that group. So there's definitely no group key right now. Well, that gives us the opportunity, Amit, to try and recreate it and run the register user again.
Sorry, Jay, I didn't hear. Can you please say it again?
I had my my statement typed out to delete that group so we could try again because I figured there was only one message in there.
Mhm.
So we should try and redo it again now that I cleared out the group. So I don't know what the group key is because I just deleted it.
Okay. So don't need to do onboarding again then in that case.
You could probably call the register user mutation yourself and try it.
One minute time. Could not connect to the capture service. Please try.